Hello and welcome to the podcast of the Prison Officers Association, Britain's largest professional trade union for staff working in prisons and correctional centres, public and private mental health services trust providers and immigration services, with nearly 35,000 members. Branch officials training is a vital part of making sure the union's representatives at all levels are equipped with the knowledge, skills and confidence to be effective advocates, advisors and negotiators. But what goes into the branch officials training course, and how does it affect the students who attend? In this episode, we chat with 4 branch officials who attended last month's course: Patrick, Benito, Lisa and Shane, together with Andy Baxter, Assistant General Secretary responsible for this crucial event. As you'll hear, branch officials certainly get a lot out of the course, but that's because of how much they and others put in.
Well, listeners, we're here at the branch officials training course, a very important part of what the POA does to make sure its local representatives are equipped with all the skills that they need. And if we could start off, please, if you could tell me who you are, where you work, and what your job title is, please. Patrick, would you like to start?
Yeah, so I'm Patrick. I'm from HMYY Warrington, which is in Stoke, and I am a youth justice worker.
Thank you. And moving along.
I'm Benito Graves. I am situated in Evesham and work at HMP Long Larton, Cathay by Security, and I'm a Band 3 prison officer.
Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Lisa. I'm from Great Yarmouth. I work at the Bure and I'm a Band 3 residential prison officer.
Thank you. And last but not least.
Shane Baxter, and I work at HMP Lindholm in reception.
Brilliant. Could I ask you first, colleagues, what were you expecting going into this training? What preparation had you had? Did you have a clear idea about what you were going to encounter when you walked through the door earlier this week? What were you hoping for? What were you expecting?
A more in-depth look at some of the procedures that we do. So to come here to do the branch officials training, I think it broadens all the information a bit more. Whereas with Eames, it was a bit more intense with it. It's been very informative, and I'm definitely going to go away with a fatter belly, to be honest.
Others felt similarly that it's been a good kind of broad brush introduction into the range of responsibilities that you'll have as branch officials, or have you had a different experience?
Well, I spoke to my, so it's Patrick, I spoke to my NEC rep yesterday, and I said the course really, it's blown my mind. It's opened my eyes. You know, I've been doing a rep for a little while, and I thought I was quite knowledgeable, but as soon as I came here, it opened my eyes massively. You know, better understanding of what should be happening in our prison estates, which isn't happening. So it's really opened my mind.
I'd say it's been invaluable. I'm a fairly new committee member. I was only elected in November, I believe, and I was a massively last-minute addition to the course. I'm really lucky to have gotten on it, and just the amount of policy that I've learned in the last 4 days, it's just going to be so useful when I go back to work.
Great. Okay, so I mean, so if we think about the content of the course, what's the structure of the course like? I mean, how many students are there in total? What are there practical exercises? Is there a lot of classroom stuff? Don't forget, this is going out to people who will probably think, "Oh, branch officials course. I don't really know what that means." So can we paint them a picture, perhaps?
Yeah, sure. So it's Benito talking. So just touching on your previous question, I think driving up here, I was a bit apprehensive but excited at the same time, because obviously going to be in a room basically with a load of like-minded people that basically want to represent our staffing group. And first impression of when we got here, we had this massive room set out for us, which was brilliant. We're not going to be all crowded in one space. And there was about 6 or 7 different tables set out, and I think a rough estimate is about 40 of us training, and it was just really good to see so many people from different branches coming together. Like I'm saying, like-minded people just wanting to represent our staffing groups and doing what's best for everyone.
You come into this big room, about 40 of you. I imagine this a bit like going to a social event, perhaps, where you don't really know anyone else, or you might know 1 or 2 people, and there's a kind of vibe, a connection between people because of all the stuff that you've basically got in common, even though you have very different experiences day to day in your jobs.
Yeah, so I So to Patrick talking, I was a little bit different when I first got into the room because I worked for the YCS, so I knew nobody else up there was actually from the YCS, and I'm like, I'm going to be really different for me. And, I wonder if I'm going to be treated a little bit differently, but it honestly wasn't. And everybody has spoken to each other, everyone's been friendly. And this might sound daft saying this, but I've actually felt like an adult on this course. You go on some HMPPS courses and you are treated completely different. And here, we've been treated as adults. And it's really good. It's a different world. And me being the only one in here, I thought, oh, people are going to be completely different with me, but they actually weren't. And there's so many similarities as well between us. And we are all one union. That's how it should be.
Absolutely, absolutely, for sure. If you think back over the last 2 or 3 days, colleagues, have there been particular modules or particular things that really stand out in your mind as being particularly different or exciting or informative?
Well, for me, it was to do with the investigations. I've been on our committee now for about 3.5 years. I've been the chair for around about 3 years, and I've learned some stuff which I wish I'd learned a few years ago, because going into investigations, I've never had any great issues in investigation, but it's given me some good ammunition to now go into these investigations with.
And others, the investigations module or other bits of the course, what's stuck out for you?
For me, again, the investigations, I agree. My site at the moment has got a lot of investigations, so this has really helped me when I go back to deal with some of these investigations. I think a lot of the course, to be honest, is every section what we've done, there's always been something that, like a tip, like, a technique what we didn't have before, and we did it our way, and it will assist us. Yeah, so I think every module really has helped.
I think I've picked something up from every module we've done. It feels sometimes that managers at the prison, they kind of hope that we don't know our rights, that we don't know, the people that we're representing don't know their rights, so they can catch us out on something. And there's so many small bits that I've learned where I've thought, oh, I didn't know that, and I know someone's had an issue with that. So I feel like when I go back to my prison, I can say, actually, that's not how you're supposed to be doing it. That's not right. That's not how we're going to do that.
Now, obviously, it's a residential course, so I presume you weren't working all the time. What has the kind of social side of the branch officials course been like?
I think it's been great, to be honest. The facilities what we've got here, it's really good. The room spaces in our hotel room is quite large. We've got plenty of space in there. We've got a bar, food provided for us for breakfast, dinner. Today we've got. You don't go on HMPPS courses and you get that.
No.
So the facilities and the social elements, everybody in the evening, the NEC reps obviously get through the course really well for us, and then give us the time to actually network with each other and get to know one another. It's really important, the networking. Understanding each other.
Yeah, we've all got groups of people from all different areas, and we're all just hanging around the bar, mixing different groups, talking to people that you've never come across before in life. And it's interesting hearing all the different problems from the different prisons and thinking, well, we are all the same and we can all do this together.
Something I love about coming here is that this is my second time here. And like every time I come here in the future is that even though we've come from all different parts of the country and there's so many different prisons, is that I've run into people that I've met before. So I'm like, oh, we met you on the last course, and we have a little bit of a chat and a bit of a networking. And then I'm hoping when I go to the next thing, I'll probably meet some people that I've met here and in other places. So it is a really good networking event.
I think just touching what my colleagues have all said about the facilities and everything here, it's kind of, you got the best of both worlds, because like you've got the accommodation here, bar side of everything, but also you've got the teaching rooms, and obviously the room that we're based in, it is a really big room. It's a nice size to it, so you don't feel cramped, like touching, like we had 40 people roughly on this call. We don't feel cramped. You don't feel you're squeezed into one room, so it's not like there's no like negotiation, like, oh, we're here having the course at like the hotel, whereas you've got like just the best of everything here, and it's just been really good.
Okay, well, I mean that's certainly good to hear, and I imagine Andy is taking careful notes of this and to feed back to the NEC and the group of full-time officers. When you leave, as you will be leaving the branch officials training course shortly, if there is one thing or the most valuable thing that you'll take away from the course back to your home establishments, what would that be?
Confidence.
Confidence. Yeah.
Yeah, I think more confidence in myself, more confidence in the wider committee is actually there backing you. You know, it's all happening in the background. You know, you don't feel like you're on your own. Sometimes when you're back at your branches, you know the NEC is there, and you know a phone call away. There's more confidence in our own reps as well, supporting us.
Yeah, I agree. It's confidence and knowledge, and the confidence comes with the knowledge. They've given us all the last few days, so yeah, we can now work better for everyone.
And anything to add to the confidence and knowledge list?
Well, the food quality has been really good this year.
Yeah.
It's
Really,
absolutely
really good.
lovely. My prison's quite remote. In Norfolk, we do have 3 prisons, but we're not really close to anyone else in the country. So for me, like the thing that I will take away is that we are one union, and you know I've got email addresses from people that I do hope to speak to and see again in the future. So for me, I think it's that you're not alone, you're not isolated. So even if you don't know the question to something, there are people that you can speak to, people you can email. Like everyone's been really forthcoming with saying, you know, you can email me, you can contact me if you need something. So I think that's definitely given me some more confidence as a fairly new committee member.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. And if there are members, committee members, newly elected or appointed branch officials who are listening to this and they're thinking, well, that sounds all right. That sounds interesting. That sounds something that perhaps I should find out more about, but I'm really not sure. I don't like going away from home. It's difficult to juggle home and work life. If they're interested but hesitant, what advice could you all give to that member?
It's a case of just do it. Absolutely do it. You need it for your knowledge. You need it to go forward, and you need it. If you're going to be on the committee, you're doing it because you want to help people. This gives you the tools to help people to the best of your ability.
Definitely have to second that. Like, even if you've got some doubts or some reservations, just grab it with both hands, because I have no regrets whatsoever coming on this course. I can't think of one negative, to be honest with you. It's been fantastic. I've learned so much more. I've met some great people. And yeah, any reservations, just put them to the back of your head and just run at the finish line. It's going to broaden your knowledge, and yeah, nothing bad to say.
Andy, if I could turn to you, from a head office point of view, what's the importance of the branch officials training?
I think it's for all the reasons that have been discussed this morning. It's to give people confidence, to let them see that there is a structure to the union above them and above their branch, not in a way that, you know, that the national structure is any better, but that the national structure does exist. We talk about policies, we talk about tips for going into meetings, we do some scenarios. Yeah, some of it has to be quite heavy and quite serious, but we get the opportunity to be lighthearted. My favourite session, and it never ever fails to produce a good atmosphere and a good laugh, is based around branches putting motions in for annual conference. So yesterday afternoon, it was just, I really regret that we didn't record it, but we had a branch brought a motion to remove prison search dogs and replace them with bears. Bears are more adept in searching for the right size, etc. And you know, obviously that motion, you know, with our serious heads on, that motion would never have went through standing orders, but we let it run because we could see it was just going to be such good fun, and that's the element that I enjoy. But other things where you say to somebody, you know, if you ask for a fast track hearing for your member, the governor then has to say to you yes or no whether he's going to dismiss them. Just little easy wins like that. That you know, we've all gained those sorts of tips through experience, and it's vital that experience gets passed on to people. That's the thing. I think it was Lisa said, the tips and the knowledge. That's what we try to impart on people.
Great. Is there anything that any of you wanted to say that you haven't had a chance to say so far about the course or your interaction with it?
I just want to say thank you, to be honest, because I say before, it's opened my mind, and it really is going to build, you know, more knowledge, more confidence when I go back. And, you know, without this, I think every branch official member should do this training. I think it will build the confidence of every person in our committee having this training behind this, and it'll not from, it's the chair, it's all the way down. Everyone should have it. And I just want to say thank you, really. And it's been really, I really appreciate everything what's been done.
Yeah, I'd just like to second that and say, thank you for giving us all the opportunity to represent our members better.
Well, I can agree. It's been a lot more enjoyable than what I expected. That's been the biggest one for me.
Yeah.
I want it to be this informative and this enjoyable. It's been lovely meeting everyone.
Me as well, I'd second that as well. I thought, because obviously beforehand we were asked to print out all these policies, and I thought it was going to be really heavy-handed, which it has been in a good way, but also, like what Andy was saying, we've had such a great laugh as well. And I think the last one I'd like to make is, before I came, a couple of my committee members were like, oh, this is such a hard course to get onto, and it's always in demand. And coming here and experience it, you can see why it's in demand. And I think it's hats off to everyone in head office and everyone. It's in demand because it's such a great course. And long may it continue. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
My thanks to Andy, Benito, Lisa, Patrick, and Shane. And you can find out more information about the branch officials training course in the education section of the POA website, which is, of course, poauk.org.uk. Thank you for listening. I hope you have enjoyed what you have heard and will join us for the next episode of the POA podcast. Thank you and goodbye.